Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So I decided to change the format up a little bit and move on to something resembling video. Well, it's on YouTube anyways. So for game 11 on my list, I decided to play Murdered Soul Suspect, which is an adventure game made by Airtight Games and published by Square Enix, released in 2014 and on most systems. The story of the game revolves around the fact you have to solve a murder. Actually, it's your own murder. You can't talk to any living along the way, but you can read their thoughts and interact with other ghosts. All you know is that someone in a cloak is behind your murder. You must follow the clues to find out. Their story, however, is quite predictable in places. When you're told the town is Salem, it becomes quite obvious that there's going to be witches involved somehow. As it turns out, most witches are good, but there are some devious going on somewhere along the line. Choo choo. The story is quite entertaining, but its predictability does rein that in slightly. The gameplay follows the usual adventure game tropes. You talk to people, or in this case, read their thoughts. You collect items and clues to progress, and sometimes you have to piece the clues together to work out what's going on. You're given a finite amount of chances to solve each selection of clues, which are often not that straightforward, but when you run out, it just lets you keep trying anyways. You just don't get top marks. Oh no. There is also a small amount of action in the game which involves black spirits, which try to steal your soul. These are gotten rid of by holding a particular direction button and pressing another button. And this is one of the most annoyingly frustrating and infuriating aspects of the game due to very little time offered. The graphics of the game are acceptable. They aren't anything special, but they aren't anything overly horrible either. The biggest attraction from the environment is the repetitive nature of the conversations. You frequently come across several people in a small area with potentially different voices, but with the exact same speech to give in their thoughts. Now this is possible, but within the sanitarium, you meet a girl who complains about seeing bugs crawling up the wall, while there are no bugs there. You go to the next room and you get the same speech about bugs from a slightly different voice, same words. This just feels like really lazy writing on the behalf of developers, and I can't help but think that this could have easily been fixed by writing a few more variations. So what about replayability? Well, this is quite limited. There are a number of side quests. Some of these involve collecting a certain number of an item to initiate a text flashback to help someone else move on. Yes, text. Well, there's a basic picture in the background and someone reads the text for you, but still, text. These just feel lazy and their stories could easily be brought to life with a basic animation or even drawings. For the main story, the only thing you could try in a replay is to get 100% in each clue you're offered, but second time round this shouldn't be any more difficult than sitting down. Overall, the game is quite enjoyable, even with the many tropes and predictable elements. I was expecting something special due to the alternative approach to the adventure game genre, but it easily breezes over these and gives you almost similar abilities and approaches. It's certainly not something to rave about, but it's also not something to scoff at. Give it a go if you've got nothing better to do, but don't come in expecting anything overly new. Therefore, I give the game 6.5 out of 10 and recommend a complete. If going cheap, but not really worth the effort of a replay.